Well, welcome again to another installment of URP Practical Talk. I am your host, Pastor Wendell Jeffrey. Thanks for joining. So much to talk about. You see what's happening. The country is beginning to be tattered and torn between hither, thither, and yon. And we are getting closer to the 2020 elections. Of course, we'll have the regional, local and regional, we'll have the local elections in 2018, all things being equal. But we have ourselves a GCOM chair. We will talk a little about that. I know that some of you have drawn, the battle lines have been drawn. And so we are going to go into that. We have in the studio with me again this evening, Dr. Vishnu Bandhu. Dr. Bandhu, how are you doing, sir?
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you are a man on the move. You nip out and nip back in, nip out and nip back in. I hope you get travel points.
Yes.
That you're chalking up those mileage.
Yeah,
and so you're fresh from India. Yeah. How is it? How is it?
Well, India was very nice. I had meeting with a lot of people. I had meeting with the film industry also.
Okay.
Talking about making films in Guyana.
All right.
You know, we have done a lot of work there. We have people who are sympathetic with us.
Okay.
And
those are Guyanese from
no,
there, or
local
Indians. Okay.
You know, and so forth. So we had several meetings, and the amazing thing of India that I was pointing out it to some people, all over you go in India, the air hostess, all the people in the offices, and all over, it's young people working.
Okay.
You wouldn't see old people working.
Okay.
Very rare you see any old people work because of, like they clean the streets or sweep the pave or something like that.
I think the industry
but the industry, everyone is young people working.
And what's your takeaway from that? Why are you highlighting that? What is
why
the
I'm
nexus?
highlighting this is just because I'm looking the difference with those people and us in Guyana here.
Okay.
We have so much of young people who study, who are qualified to do their job, but still we can't find job for them. We'll put in the retiree into job. All one who already served their years and retire, you still take them and put them for job.
I don't want to stray too far from India. We can come back. But I want to touch on this point here. Somebody was telling me, I was asking about, because that concerns me, the fact that we keep giving these positions to retired people who have their homes and their grand and great grandchildren, and we keep prioritizing them by way of employment and so on. And somebody told me that they think that what the Granger administration is doing is putting the old folks in place so that they can train the younger folks. What do you think of that?
Look, a government need all kind of people. You need the elderly people. You need the young people. Because what the elderly people have here, the young people doesn't have.
Correct.
And what the young people have here, the elderly doesn't have. Okay. So it's like a puzzle. You put this together to work. Okay. No. How would you train someone when you don't have even them to train? How many places you go and you see you have a deputy young person in Guyana. So how would you train these people? Where this training will come from? The URP have been talking about building a strong family. It's a simple example of India, what I just spoke about.
Right.
Why because the Indian people, they build their children, they grow up and things like that, and they are trained to stand on their 2 feet. They are well educated, and they do these kind of things. So what really happened when the parents meet certain age? The young people, you know what they'll say? They said, "Dad and Mom, look, you relax.
Yes.
You have minded us. You have grown up. You have educated us. Right? It is time for us to serve you back."
Okay.
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 So that is why URP also talk about building strong family, because a strong family bring a strong nation,
Correct.
and a strong nation bring a strong government,
Correct.
and a strong government make your country so progressive,
Beautiful.
so that everyone are able to have smile on their face.
Okay, what are some of the meetings that you have been having in India with the different folk? What it is that the URP is expecting to come out of those meetings? You're meeting with them, you have the 2020 elections coming up. What are you trying to put in place?
What we are trying to do is to try to bring technology. You know, these people are well versed in technology and different way, everything they do in India. Even the garbage they take and make fertilizer, everything are useful. My meeting with them, with different industry, is to invite them to come to Guyana to open industries, so that we can able to create jobs, right? We can go in all our different farming area, putting up canning factory, putting up packaging factory, putting up, you know, things that we don't have.
Right.
We will bring professional and let them start immediately under URP government.
How is the infrastructure in India compared to what we have in Guyana? And how do you think we could learn from the infrastructural setup in India as it relates to where we need to be in Guyana?
There's a lot of things we can learn from India. You know, they are ministers and so forth have been going to India from this country, but it doesn't seem that they're learning anything, because they're only going if they have a meeting, enjoying themselves, right? The infrastructure in India is very, very good, very great. You know, look at India, the country that I think their independence was 1946. The growth of India from 1946 to now is tremendous as an independent country. You know, we are here only a couple of years less, and we are going down and down instead of going up and up. You know, so you know we have to learn from progressive people. You know, we can't learn from people who are not progressive.
Yeah.
You know, and this is our big mistake. What we are having in Guyana. Our big fault, you know.
So you go on these overseas trips because you want to. The URP as an administration would like to piggyback or to copy some of these best practices that are happening around the world.
Yes.
You want to because we live in a technological age, and if we could connect with the right people, then we can have some of those things. And I always wonder about that, you know.
Definitely. Next year I'll be taking a trip to Africa too.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Because I have some contact in Africa also. I would like to balance all these things. You know, where we are going. You know, what we really want in our life. What can we offer? And every country, I'm sure they have something that we can learn from them.
Okay.
You know, that's what we don't know. We don't know it all. URP doesn't know it all.
Correct.
But we keep on learning every day. We want our country to be progressive. We want no one to complain that they don't have jobs.
Correct.
You know, we want to create industry and create the opportunity for everyone to able to become what they want to be. You want to become a doctor? You must have opportunity. Lawyer? Opportunity. You want to become a millionaire? You have an opportunity. You want to become a billionaire? You have an opportunity. And this is what URP want to present to Guyana.
To open up
you
the
know,
country.
and not to be so biased at what's happening in Guyana for the past 50 years.
Correct.
We must not look at people who support a next political party and they are qualified to do a job and you wouldn't give them a job.
Right.
It's out of the question.
No, that's so backdated.
Yeah, it's so backdated. Or look who here straight and who here twist to give them a job. It's out of the question.
Of course.
You know, we all are Guyanese. We all are one. We are one family.
We are not making the, and I want to go into another segue here, because we keep missing this overture for us to come together. And I keep speaking. I supported the president when he was on the campaign trail, and he talked about how he's going to include the opposition in governance, and he's not going to support the winner take all, where if whoever wins, they're the only people who govern. He gave this magnanimous, he spoke so magnanimously about the notion that he's going to reach across the aisles and he's going to bring people in, and then he gets in, and that is not what we're seeing. Let's go to this to the appointment of the GCOM chairperson. A lot of people are saying, well, the last the last three GCOM chairs we had were Indians, and so the president had to choose a black. And I'm saying, why are we doing that? Why are we discussing things at the administrative level with race as a background? No, I am not saying that Justice Patterson is not qualified or whatever. I'm saying that if the supporters are arguing that you had to choose a black man, the government has failed to communicate to the country that we need to move away from this racist thing. What's your take on the GCOM chairperson?
But the black man, the president is demonstrating that about blacks. You know, he has been showing that in this country.
What do you mean?
On a racial basis.
Why you say that? What do you mean?
What I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look, since they took government, thousands of people have been dismissed from their job, mostly Indian, right? And replaced with blacks, right? People are seeing this clearly, right? This is what we URP are saying, that you cannot dismiss people from their job. You can, if they're doing their job, let them do the job. Every government go in because they was employed by the past government, you will dismiss them. It is not fair in what they're doing, right? Besides that, how can you take, I'm not saying Justice Patterson may not be thing, but he does not have that energy, right? And everybody agree with that. He, an 84-year-old man, does not have the energy to do that job that he is assigned to do, right? Now, what I'm looking at, I think that, as I said in other program before, that there are only delay tactics. Now, according to the laws, the opposition is supposed to put up name, and you're supposed to choose one. Now, opposition put number one, set 6 names, number 2, 6 names. You disqualify everybody, number 3, 6 names. And you go bam, and you handpick somebody just like that. And I even consult with them, which is unfair. You can't tell me out of 18 names, you could not find one person.
Hear my
right?
take, though.
You know?
Hear my take. I loved President Granger. I mean, when I say that, I didn't know him much before he burst onto the political scene. But he came across as fair and balanced and magnanimous. And then we have that picture with him after he won. He's in the church and he's praying. And he gave this impression to me, because I'm a pastor and these things, I'm endeared to them. He gave the impression that he's prepared to go the extra mile. So when he got the Constitution allowed for 2 lists, he went the 3rd list. Okay? However, what I was hoping is that given the impasse that they had, I was hoping that the president would have said, okay, Mr. Jack Dio, come to my office. And we are not going to leave this office until you and I could come up with a name that we both agree on, who is fit and proper. You see what I mean?
Yep.
Then when they do that now, they come out and they stand before the press corps and they tell the nation, look, we have spent time and we have come up with a consensus candidate for the GCOM. What would that have done for the nation? It would have pulled us together. You understand what I'm saying? But rather than that, we had a unilateral selection, and therefore, except the coalition loses the next election, the opposition will say it was rigged because of the process of selecting the GCOM chair. And I'm saying, in the interest of social cohesion, we have to go beyond the norm. We have to go beyond the constitutional dictates in the interest of peace. That's my argument.
See, what happened here, Pastor, you're quite correct. But these guys are not accustomed to those kind of things. The true democracy, they are not accustomed to that. We have known since 1966 on to 1992, we had pure rigged elections in this country. And the same people who was involved in those rigging are back in this government right now, planning to rig again by doing these kind of things, right? Now, let us be factual, let us be fair, let us be open-minded. Why would we put an 84-year-old man to be GCOM chair? Would he have that energy to move around this country, to do this, do that? But you know what I see? I see that it's a delayed tactics.
What do you mean by that?
Delayed tactics is to prolong the election further away. Because this GCOM chairman, something might happen a little before the election, fell sick or something, and then they would say they don't have a chairman.
You think,
right?
You think that they are, you right? think that they calculate the thing so well?
No, I'm telling you. This is, look, so far, everything that I have predicted has been coming through.
Wow.
Right? So far, everything. Listen to all our programs.
All right.
Right? Everything that I have been predicting, or even before this, we talk about the GCOM chair, and I told you about the delay tactics what they're using. You understand?
Wow.
So it is coming true, and you will see this will happen too. But the people must be able to stand up together to get a proper GCOM chairman who had the energy and a fair-minded person who are not connected to any of these two political parties, and who will see justice done. I don't care if it's black, I don't care if it's Indian,
correct.
I don't care if it's Chinese, Portuguese, or Amerindian, right? All what I concern
it's done fair.
Done fairly,
and transparent.
You know,
yes.
That is our concern, and I think that all people are concerned with this.
And what I'm noticing is that the same thing that happened under the PPP is happening under this coalition, which means that when the PPP was in power, you could not get any PPP crony or supporter to fall them for anything. Everything that the PPP did was right.
Yeah.
Now you have this administration in power, the cronies and the supporters of the administration, everything that they do is right.
The same thing.
Except I must hasten to say that there seems to be a coming to light. For instance, you have local calls, you've just made one, but they have local calls and even international calls from the diaspora who are saying, look, the best thing for this guy to do, in as much as the president wouldn't do it by rescinding the GCOM, the best thing to do is for him to...
Before you go further, as you know, if you read the paper, you'll see. Recently, they had the concern of the diaspora, the support of the AFC in Canada, pulls out from them because they're making recommendation, right? And the AFC doesn't say, the hell with you guys. Who are you? You know, because you give us $75,000, but they have bigger people give you more, and they're not making those claims. And you are making a claim because the people thinking we want the diaspora want to help. They want to help Guyana. And the URP will support the diaspora because we have been having several meetings with these same guys who names you see in that paper. you know, and showing them our intention and so forth. And they all agree with us
So,
in what we are doing.
why you think that the objective persons locally in the diaspora are calling for the rescinding of this GCOM name? However, the local folks, especially at the administrative level in the government, are rebuffing the calls. What is happening?
The dictatorship attitude, that is what happened. They do not have openness. The government talk about transparency. They don't have that. You know, they all what they feel to do. Look how many things happen in Guyana. And the people come and they talks about it, they demonstrate against it, they bring people out there. It doesn't make any difference. They said, to the hell about you guys. Who are you? You know? Who are you today? So whatever he talks about, you know, transparency in the campaign, it's not so. You know? It's all about dictatorship. And that is all what these people know. They don't know anything else.
No, you were resident, or you were born in the Berbice area. The other day,
I am not born in Berbice. I'm born in West Coast.
West Coast.
I'm from Windsor Forest.
But you went up. You lived up there for a while. Yes. What I was asking though is the AFC had the 10th. I think they were supposed to have the 10th anniversary in WIM the other day, and it fell through. What happened?
That's where the 40 or 50 people attend.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be a motorcade. It was supposed to be a grand day. Come and play games.
Those are things show you clearly that the people who had supported the AFC to make this thing happen for the APNU to get in government, it shows you clearly that how disappointed all these people they are. Because when the AFC started, they said they will never collate with anyone. You know, and that is why they got those support, because people were fed up with both sides of the fence, the PPP and the PNC section. They want to get away from that. But these guys paint that picture, they will do it. And I just replied to the AFC group this morning. I said, hey, you guys, you guys aren't learning yet? You know, what is it for you to learn, to understand that all these guys who are in the AFC, Ramjatan and Moses, all of them come from the PPP route, right? And they all are dictators. They don't concern whatever you say. The same thing with this government. They all are dictators. They don't concern about the people. Look in Guyana today. And I always mention this, yeah? I respect Chedi for one. I think Chedi was one of the best presidents Guyana ever had, with honesty. He's not maybe 100% honest, but he was honest, more than any one of them. Chedi used to talk about the poor class of people, right? Today, he probably yesterday was telling some people in Escobar, probably Chedi turning in his grave to know that what the people who took over his party, what they are doing. Wow. You know? He probably turned in his grave, because all what these people are doing is servicing their family, this government, the past government, servicing their friends, and the rich people. But they fail to understand one thing, that the poor people in the country is the real people. The grassroots people is the real people. Because if the grassroots people does not go and buy from the rich, the shop, and they support the rich people, for them to get richer, they can't get richer. And if the grassroots people cannot get a job and cannot have money to spend, it means the rich people coming down less and less every day. So this is what they fail to understand. Even the rich people don't care about the people who support them. All what they care about collecting the money. You know? And the governments only look at the rich people because they can push their hand under the table and say, hey, put it here. You know? And the rich people do that. And who pay for it? The poor people pay for it.
The poor man.
And this has been going on over and over and over. We have to change. Guyanese has to start to change the way of thinking. I'm saying this over and over. You know, how long we don't change this way of thinking, we are not going forward. Those of you who are looking at this program, I'm cautioning you. Again, the same thing I did on the 2015 election. I said it clearly. If you vote for the APNU, you're voting for PNC. I am the only one in all my campaign in the 2015. If you vote for the APNU, you're voting for the PNC. And you had 28 years of that. And if you vote also for them, you are not voting for change. You are voting for an exchange. I have been saying this over and over on the 2015 platform. And today, people are meeting me on the street. Doc, you have been saying everything. You've been hitting the hammer on the right nail. And everything that you said come to pass. Pastor, you know.
Let me ask you though. The AFC came on the scene. They were able to pull together minds of people, educated people, young people, people who were frustrated with both the PNC and the PPP. Where is the AFC now, based on your travels, based on your the word on the street at your level? Where is the AFC now by way of providing that third force?
I don't see that AFC have any kind of force anymore, right? Everybody are away from the AFC. Only those who are benefited through the AFC will talk about the AFC. But ordinary nobody will not talk about the AFC because they're all saying they don't want to hear anything from these bandits. Just like that they're saying. These are pack of bandits.
Okay, now, here the URP, been around for a while, but making a lot of traction over the last few years because of the outreaches and because of the programs and so on that we've been doing. In the last few minutes, look in the camera and tell the people how you plan to do things differently from the AFC. How do they know that you're not going to collate, that you're not going to sell out? What commitment can you make?
It is because, Pastor, and I'll tell this to the audience, I'm saying this over and over. The URP had formed in 1985 in the United States, and our policy has been very clear. Because of our way of thinking and because of the free enterprise system of us, we have decided that there's no way, even the URP get one seat in Parliament, they will remain alone. They will be the People's Party. And it will always be the People's Party. I'm here not because of me, not because of Dr. Bandu. I am here because when I look at all these children in Guyana, I look at my own children. I see my own children. So this is why I am here, and I am here to serve, not to be served. It's two different things.
Of
the
course.
PNC and the PPP is to be served, but the URP is here to serve. It is totally different from us. We are a different breed of people. This is why we are looking for honest people, sincerity, people who are truthful. You know, a lot of people are saying, you know, politics don't have truth in it, but that's not true. Yeah. It's the people who get in there make it that way. Okay. So, Pastor, we are here truly to serve, and we have been serving. Look, we are asking people for help. We are asking a lot of businessmen to help. And I told them, my guys, ask them, no mind they're PNC or PPP. But if you don't ask them, you wouldn't know.
Correct.
And if you ask them and they don't help you, well, at least you can say you asked them. Right. You know? So when we get into government, you wouldn't come and say, hey, I've been helping you, I've been doing this, you've been doing, because that is the normal trend with all these hypocrites.
We're completely out of time. It takes 4,000 something votes to win a seat. I know that some of you listening are contemplating supporting us, and we thank you in advance. Thanks for joining us. Same time, same place next week. Until then, God bless you. Visit us on the World Wide Web, urpguyana.com, or you can visit us on our YouTube page. Thanks for joining us, and see you again next week. Bye-bye.